Hello, everyone.
Hello.
Nadia's just coming off her Instagram live. Sorry, just moving that. I can see in the comments just briefly there a lot of people talking about someone called Sema, who I've never heard of before. But obviously she's having some kind of dilemma or difficulty. But I've gone all the way back through and I can't see any comment by her. So she must have left a comment and perhaps deleted it. I don't know. But you're right, guys. Thank you yet again as a community for encouraging Sema, if that's your name, Sema, to call the Samaritans. I think that's absolutely crucial. And if you're feeling down, mind the Samaritans, Anxiety UK, please contact them. But I was trying to find the original comment, but I can't find it anywhere. I can't seem to see the person. Good morning, everyone. Good morning.
You love Selma.
Yeah, Sema.
Hope you get
Sema.
Hope you get some help today.
Yeah.
Well, insist that you do. I don't know what the story is, but...
No. Shannon Glendinning, can I please have a shout out? Of course you can. I had to say goodbye to my dog today. We had 12 great years with her though. Oh no.
Oh, Shannon.
Well, don't say that. Our Chi-Chi has just suddenly developed
limping around.
Suddenly limping. So Toffee was ill last weekend.
And now you've lost yours. That's so tough.
So like last weekend, I can really imagine what you're going through, Shannon, because with Toffee...
I was just terrified, just with Toffee just limping along. So we can completely empathise.
God, yeah. So it's weird, isn't it? I hate it's like when any member of your family, four-legged or two-legged, and I include Nanny Di in the four-legged category. It makes you feel really vulnerable, doesn't it? En masse. Hi guys. So yeah, it's Saturday morning. How did we get here this quickly?
How did that happen?
Where
did the week go?
I don't know. So there's all sorts of things. One of the top headlines that just kind of flopped on my screen whilst I was in the loo was that supermarkets in Wales have now cordoned off non-essential shopping, and as shoppers are furious. Look, these are the scenes in supermarkets.
It's ridiculous.
In line with government guidelines, we are unable to sell non-essential items at this time. Thank you for your understanding. The idea being what?
Well, that people will spend too long. People will be having a shopping expedition, and walking around and hanging out in the supermarket because they're desperate to be out.
So, you're right.
I'm gonna get a couple of nuts.
Okay. Well, that's curious, isn't it? Yes, I cannot get a sparkler for my daughters, Ellen Jones. I can't deal with illness at all. Oh, sorry, I just lost that. Andrea Liberadsky, I can't deal with illness at all. I'm hopelessly hopeless. Yeah, I know what you mean, especially if you're on your own. It's hard, isn't it? Controlling what we buy. So you can't buy a birthday card.
You can't buy a birthday card?
So that means no buying of Halloween and Christmas stuff.
But who's making this stuff up?
Thanks, Sabrina.
It's crazy. It's depressing for people. And these lockdowns aren't working. That's the other thing. It's infuriating, isn't it?
It's infuriating. Nadia took it upon herself to start clearing out a cupboard, which is a good thing because it's within.
Instagram.
Yeah, it's within there. But look what I found. It's so exciting. Look, Doctor Strange trading cards. Oh, I'm going to open them up. I'm going to trade them with no one because I've got no one to trade them with.
Somebody just said there, I thought shops were COVID secure. Are they now saying nothing is COVID secure?
That's a good point. Why change the rules? I thought it was about crowd control. Is it not?
No, I think it's about people not wanting people to hang out. They just want people in their houses all the time.
Jackie Vellino says you can get everything online.
Yeah, but lots of people aren't online.
There's a huge number of people who aren't online. My mum doesn't shop online. Loads of people,
loads and loads, and it's really easy to forget that. A lot of people can't afford to be online, and a lot of people just don't have the tech to be online.
And also, one of the other problems is even Nanny Di, who could, if she tried, if you're here, Nanny Di, to learn how to buy stuff online. A lot of people live in flats. My mum lives in a flat and has shared doors, and stuff just goes missing all the time. So, I mean, imagine that's a huge hassle, isn't it?
Yeah, Amazon certainly are benefiting from this lockdown. My God.
Yeah, hi Mark and Nadia, listening from Ireland. Love your show. Margaret McCraren. Hi, Margaret McCraren.
Well, we've got lots of people that follow us from Ireland.
We're definitely going to do a tour of duty in Ireland.
Just want this all to be over.
I just imagine greenery. I just imagine green, and I just imagine...
So we can all just come out and meet you. It's been so nice meeting people that have won the book competition. And when we had lovely chats the other night...
Hi, Jacqueline Frost.
With two of our subs. And then, of course, we went to meet Danny at her house. And it was so lovely. And it's made us... so determined to do a meetup as soon as
it really has.
socially distanced.
Yeah, coming up on the vlog, actually, we as Nadia just said, we're looking forward to showing our meeting with Caitlin and Caroline. Margaret Ann MacArthur says, I think it's brilliant not to buy Christmas stuff. Start making things, especially cards. Just do a drawing, cut out from magazines. Great fun. It's a fair point. We all need to get a bit more inventive.
Yeah, I mean, I do my sister's art by box every month, and my God, it just to find the time to sit down and do that. Oh, God, I really want to do it today. Do you think I'll get a chance to do it today?
Clear this table, yes you will.
I've got to clear this table, I don't know where to put it all.
Joe Wick's picture, what's the Joe Wick's picture? What's happened? Joe Wicks. Just quickly, some breaking news. Not that, I mean, I don't know if we have many Polish listeners in the UK, but Poland's president has tested positive for COVID as new cases in Poland hit a record high. But look, it's
amazing how many leaders have got COVID.
Well, if you think about it, they're constantly in rooms with lots of other people shaking hands and probably dealing with people coming from the front line, aren't they? We are going to be watching Borat. We're going to do it as a family watch. I think it's going to be very entertaining. I mean, I'm sure lots of it won't be appropriate.
Donald Trump says.
Borat creator Sacha Baron Cohen is a creep, says Donald Trump. This could be partly to do with the fact that he kind of, the mockumentary shows Rudy Giuliani, I can never say his name, in what appears to be a compromising position in a hotel room. When asked about the incident whilst on his jet, Mr. Trump said he didn't know what had happened. However, he did have an opinion on Sacha Baron Cohen. You know, years ago, he tried to scam me, and I was the only one that said, no way, this guy is a phony guy. I don't find him funny. To me, he's a creep. I think he's I mean, he takes it a bit far, but he does make me laugh. But this is terrible news. You were just saying only the other day how much you wanted to go to Colorado. I filmed in Colorado, Denver, Boulder, places like that. But look, roads jammed. It's scenes of Armageddon as raging east troublesome fire has prompted mandatory evacuation orders in Colorado. Updating as we get more information. This just reminds us that America is such a vast country that intersects so many different landscapes and sort of temperatures and what they're called, not temperatures, climates. So many different climates just within its walls that you can just, the feeling is that the fires are increasing.
Yeah.
Isn't it? Everywhere. I mean, I see more and more images of sort of red skies that are like...
Oh, God, Jackie Valino and floods in Vietnam as well.
Floods in Vietnam.
It really does feel like Armageddon across the world, doesn't it?
Really does.
Is there any good news?
There isn't an awful lot. So,
Outnumbered romance. That sounds nice.
Well, Outnumbered. Did you know? I didn't realise that the two lead actors in Outnumbered are dating.
No.
They're together and they've been together for a couple of years.
What, the kids?
No, the parents. Outnumber's Hugh Dennis and Claire Skinner.
Oh.
Take a stroll after calling relationship a lovely surprise.
Oh.
Yeah, the actors who played the mum and dad in the series confirmed their romance during a chat on ITV's Lorraine. It was a
Do you know, I did...
lovely little life surprise. You loved him.
What was that quiz show I did with him?
Catchphrase?
Oh, he's so lovely.
Oh.
Oh, my God, I mean, I loved him.
All right, as much as Andy Burnham?
Yeah.
Oh. Right.
And she is adorable.
So Claire and Hugh star together. They've
that's
been seen going
news.
for a stroll.
Oh, let's have a look.
Yeah.
Oh.
I know, it's like a proper scene from the show.
I really like that.
Yeah. Hey, Natalie, I'm watching Rebecca later today on my own because no one else will want to. The pair starred as husband and wife in the show.
For years.
Oh.
For years and years. I wonder
Didn't
if they always liked each other.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I think that's the question, isn't it? People said to us that someone will notice soon, but I kept telling them we're both over 50. Why would anyone be interested in that? We've got families we wanted to protect, and everyone's pretty cool and happy with it. Oh, it's a lovely little life surprise, isn't it? It's been lovely. Isn't that lovely? Look, there they are. Outnumbered. It's Caroline Ibbotson. There's Caroline Ibbotson from our Zoom Live. Hello.
Hi, Caroline.
How's Fifi?
How's Fifi and Dale?
How's Turnip?
Turnip the dog.
I've sent you your Zooms, actually, by WeTransfer. They should be in your inbox, in your email. So I thought that was a nice bit of pleasant news. Some annoying news, frustrating news, is that apparently there's an increase in fake COVID marshals. And the reason I wanted to bring this up is that for anyone who lives on their own, yeah, absolutely. Anyone living on their own or elderly people, do not allow anyone in. Do not let anyone in who says that they're a COVID marshal.
Because nobody would be sent to your house.
Absolutely.
Wow.
I'm just trying to find the story. I had it.
It was like one, Caitlin, who's one of our followers on here that we did a Zoom call the other day, where she was one of the competition winners. and she was telling us about how her dad's a priest, and how, you know, the elderly, we just mustn't forget how hard it is for some of them.
Absolutely.
And one of the old ladies that used to come to Sunday service and stuff hasn't seen anyone since March, and she hasn't been out. She sits in all day listening to the news. Now, can you imagine if an old vulnerable lady like that gets a knock on the door from a COVID marshal?
Exactly.
I mean, they've got to absolutely throw the book at them.
So look,
They cannot allow this.
So fake coronavirus marshals and phony medical professionals are pretending to be genuine to get inside people's homes. Because COVID secure marshals have been announced by the government, but they have no formal powers and have no right to enter anyone's home.
Spread the word
So
with that.
spread the word with that.
You know.
No one has the right to come
one.
in if they say that they're a COVID marshal or anything. I mean, can you actually believe you're being someone like that at a time like now?
Yeah.
Could you imagine being anyone wanting to even spread just nastiness?
Unfortunately, I can believe that.
How much
because
energy it must take.
Everybody takes... There's always... If there's a way to take advantage, there will be somebody that takes advantage.
Yeah.
But I still say there's more good people than bad people.
Yeah,
we always argue about this because Mark says there isn't, but I think...
Look, Sarah Tay says, help the aged are ringing the vulnerable every day if they think they need a chat.
Good.
Yeah. And here's another story that I thought this just popped up just as we were just about to come on. Although here we go. This is terrible news. Mental health charity Mind has cut its staff by 80 people as the pandemic has decimated the sector. One of the UK's biggest mental health charities has announced 80 job cuts as the coronavirus pandemic rips through the sector. So at a point where we're going to need even more...
They haven't got the money to pay them.
They haven't got the money to pay them. At a point where we need even more people helping people with their mental health. I was toying the other day with actually retraining as a therapist.
I would love to.
I was really seriously thinking about it. Oh yeah, only because I'm just thinking.
You'd be amazing.
Yeah, I mean, I just think the conflation of sort of, you know, addiction, depression, anxiety, all those kind of things. You know, all those kind of interplay of those things, and what I've gone through. I don't know. I just thought
you'd be brilliant.
You know, maybe it would be useful.
Well, on that note, guys, very soon I have coming on my Instagram.
Sue Wood, thank you. She says I help her on there.
On Instagram, we've designed them all. We're just deciding on the final T-shirt, and we're going to be selling them. 100% of profits are going to go
that's really good.
to Mind.
Yeah.
So
That's
good. Watch out on Instagram because they're coming soon.
Yeah. Oh, look, loads of people saying how good I'd be. Oh, that's very sweet
You'd
of you.
be brilliant.
Very kind of you.
It's what I would say I would want to do if I couldn't do anything.
I think one of the jobs, when I was in rehab, one of the really important jobs, I personally think, yes, one-on-one therapy is really important. But this is what I think this forum allows for us, especially when we do the mental health chats and stuff like that, is that when you do group shares or, you know, group sessions, group therapy, because the importance with group therapy is you get lots of other people's very sort of acute observations on you. And because you're all quite similar, especially if you've got similar conditions or issues or whatever, you find common ground, and then you find hurdles in others that you are actually really trying to overcome in yourself, and you find a solution for someone else, and then you can apply the solution to yourself. And I always remember looking at the 3 or 4 therapists who would sit in the room. You'd sit in a circle and you'd have 3 therapists who were in there with you. And they did very little, but what they did was crucial. It was a little bit like being a conductor of an orchestra or the director of a film, where you're kind of, or a good director of a film, you're sort of just nudging people to naturally move in certain areas, or where people are avoiding things, you encourage them to sit with a thought or things like that.
We could.
Yeah, I'm going to look into that.
Doing a Zoom sort of, you know when they do Zoom meetings.
Yeah, I'd want to be
shares.
Yeah, I mean, you know, there's our chats, and that I do that as a sort of civilian. That's me just as another bod, kind of going through it, because I think we're all the same. We're all struggling in our own ways. But sometimes I do think, I wonder whether I should formalise this in some way. I don't know.
We could be the new what are those people called? Speakmans.
Oh yeah. Yeah, that would be odd, wouldn't it? Look, Jacqueline Patterson, my partner had group therapy and it helped him enormously. Yeah. I mean, I really do. When I came out, I think everyone would benefit from it. Almost to the point that I would recommend it.
You'd benefit from it if you went a bit more.
Yeah.
When are you going to go to your next meeting?
Well, no, but AA meetings aren't the same because you can't cross-share, you can't interrupt, you need those supervisors to kind of conduct it. As I say, conduct it. It's like conduct it.
That does those, like AA, where you have group. Well, actually, that woman just said her husband went. Wonder if we should look into that.
Mars Kid watched the David Letterman interview with Robert Downey Jr., both in recovery. I'm looking forward to watching that. David Letterman's interviewed. He does Kim Kardashian as well, doesn't he?
I'd like to watch that.
There's a new series of David
I'd
Letterman
love to watch those.
interviews. Are they online or are they on a channel?
Where are they? With those names, you'd get a channel. It'd be a big Netflix show.
Absolutely. Nads, tell us what you think about the fact that councils are feeding kids. Do you think the
what a
government
roller coaster of emotions yesterday that was, with the government
Thank you, Netflix.
doing probably the most ludicrous thing. I mean, I said to
all
Mark,
fights,
it's like
aren't they?
Yesminster.
Yesminster.
Yesminster. Ginster.
Westminster.
Yes, Minister.
No, but it sounded like Westminster.
Do you remember the Piss Take show?
Hit the thumbs up, guys, if you're loving a Saturday morning
That was
chin
on
wag.
years ago. It was just, I loved that. I want to re-watch it because it'd be so relevant now.
Yeah,
Yes,
yeah.
Minister, can we start watching it again?
Yeah.
So funny. But it was like, why would you choose that fight? Why would you? With everything that's going on, they always find the money for other things. Like they keep quoting at the moment, the money that Boris found for the bridge that never happened.
52 million.
52 million, yeah, how many billions for this, billions for that. And you turn around and you say, when you know that these children will not get a good meal, and you say, no, we're not going to do it. But then how extraordinary did you see just one council after another going on to it? Is it
And a
Marcus?
lot of them Conservative councils.
I know.
A lot of them are Conservative councils
I know.
going against it.
Well, and I just found that so moving. And that boy is just, oh my God, how proud Mrs. Mumby of him. Because also I watched a bit of football news yesterday. Apparently his football is on fire
watched
as well.
football news?
Because they were talking about him and I like him. Marcus, what's his name? What's his second? Rashford. Yeah, and so, they said he takes everything in his stride. He hasn't let up. I mean, this is the government that gave him an award for his work on school dinners. And then they say, no, we're not going to...
But Johnson said we can't... I mean, Johnson's argument is that yes for Easter, yes for the summer holidays, but at what point does it stop? And
it doesn't stop at
my
the minute.
argument is it
We're in a
doesn't stop
pandemic,
until the pandemic
and
is
people,
kind of...
And you keep telling people they can't go to work and they've got to stay in and they're in tier 3 or they're in lockdown and children are unable to eat. So I'm afraid this goes on. We are in a crisis. He's such an... Sorry, I must just control myself.
Yeah, control yourself, darling.
Control myself.
Loving the Saturday chat. Thanks, guys. I think it's kind of cute. I mean, a number of
Look at that. Leo Vaidfila, Rishi Sunak's been banned from his local pub for voting against free meals.
I saw that. Well,
really?
No, a number of pubs and a number of restaurants have got a ban on certain members of the government from being able to even...
I mean, how can they be this... I mean, it's a PR disaster, apart from just it being a human disaster.
Well, this is the question I wanted to ask.
Do they not think?
Do they not
it just
have
shows
a
they have got
publicist?
no idea how people feel.
Or live.
It's like, I know I always say it, but to me, it epitomised everything. When we were first coming out of lockdown, and Boris said, well, if you could all just go out and buy a bike. People don't just have free cash to go and just buy a bike.
But can I just say, though, what
they
really...
live in a different world. When you have people around, have a 2 metre distance. People don't live in mansions to have a 2 metre distance.
I'm flabbergasted that they don't have any publicist looking at how this looks.
I know.
Every government
I suppose Dominic Cummings.
Yeah, but that's what I mean.
He's their
but this
spin doctor.
smacks of Dominic Cummings,
Yeah,
doesn't
because
it?
they don't care.
But there must be... If I was running a government, I would make it a critical part of my team to have someone who was potentially even politically opposite to me, who was viewing what we did through the lens of the opposition.
Have a PR person that's in the opposition.
Who essentially is only looking at it through the lenses of real people.
The people.
But there's no one in there going, guys, pull off on this one. You might believe that it needs to stop at some point, but it ain't flying with the population.
It's like I was chatting to Kay yesterday, and she said, I think they just didn't understand actually what self-isolate means. That's another thing. Yeah. Oh, and then you'll self-isolate for 14 days. That actually means, like within a family, staying in your room and not leaving your room for 14 days. Yeah. They're just on another planet. Yeah. And why this isn't working is people cannot do what they're asking them to do. Because, I mean, what is it? They give 2/3 of a wage. A lot of people will be on £5 a day. Some people £8 a day if you're on the minimum wage. Yeah. People are not going to be able to live on that. And then they say, we're not going to help you feed your kids. Yeah. I mean, are we in a third world country, or are we one of the richest countries in the world? Because we are.
Kathleen Finnegan, yeah, someone's saying do pause and breathe. Kathleen Finnegan, Boris thought every child had a computer for schoolwork, for example. That's very true.
Exactly.
That's very true. And I must admit, we can all fall into what do they call it? White privilege. There is something called tech privilege. And I think, you know, we fall foul of that. There's an assumption that everyone has every piece of kit and every latest piece of... It's not just about having the right kit. As some of you guys who've tried to become members on the, you know, joining the members, if you have a piece of kit that's slightly out of date, doesn't have the latest software, doesn't have the latest updates, you know, it's not as straightforward as everyone thinks.
Yeah, and lots of people...
I don't even have Wi-Fi, Steph
Exactly.
Schultz.
Lots of people just have just what you've got on your phone. You know, you pay as you go.
Oh, yeah, just to say, someone's just said, Mark, the members video. So we read out a lot of our family guests' comments. It's a new element to the members area. It's just uploaded now, apparently. It's just landed. So,
good.
Do go and check that out, family guests.
Miss One Tricia, food banks are really struggling too. Church-going parishioners are usually able to donate via the church, but as many churches are reduced with their capacity, the food banks are desperate.
Ridiculous.
Don't start me off again.
Lynn Aoki, my wee scone Robin is watching me.
Little Robin.
Is watching with me, starting her early on the Sawalha-Adderley fix, and she just pooped in a nappy. Nadia has that effect on me. She really does. She makes me
Hello,
poop
wee
everywhere.
scone.
Aye. That's why people in positions of power working for food are trying to set up opportunities for families and people without internet to gain Wi-Fi access during these times. Reese Roberts.
Yeah.
Yeah, very true.
There's a lot of good people helping. A lot. I mean, all these restaurants and cafes that are struggling anyway because of the restrictions, and they're giving out food.
Claire Haslam, tech privilege. Thanks for mentioning that. Yeah, I mean, it's important.
Tech
It is important.
privilege,
Tech
that's a really
privilege is something that I think we underestimate, and especially with the app. You know, there's just a mass assumption that everyone's plugged in at their level. And, you know, we can be.
I've learned.
A lot of people aren't.
I was taking for granted, really, because we've just got, obviously, you know, this is part of our work, and we are tuned in and uploaded with everything. And I'm going to be honest, that has been a real privilege that I haven't really realised.
No, never think about it.
It's just what we've got, but that's privilege, isn't it?
No, absolutely.
We've got it and you don't think about it.
Absolutely. And it's something that, you know, I think you become aware of. Certainly, you know, some of the homeschooling kids we've met, they just don't have the phones, the bits of kit, the apps, all that kind of stuff. They all presuppose a certain amount of privilege.
Is that Arian? How do you say
Arian
that?
Tyler Pirate Paris. Suddenly Corbyn's idea of national Wi-Fi seems a lot more sensible. Yeah, I mean, in terms of it being...
Do any countries have that where it's just free for...
But I think we need to think about Wi-Fi and broadband as crucial as water and electricity to the house. Erin, pronounced Erin. Sorry, Erin. Sorry, Erin. It's easy for them to ignore when they don't live it and don't see it, which is, again, why I think you have to have someone around you. What this demonstrates to me about Boris Johnson and his government is that actually I think Boris within himself, he is a libertarian, he is a more sort of centre conservative, but he's surrounded by that wing of his party that he's had to please with Brexit and all that kind of stuff. And I think what's unfortunately the case, there is no one around him who is actually taking the pulse of the nation and feeding it back to him.
And he doesn't know because he's grown up in a very... Though I always say this, I think he had a really hard childhood, actually, but privileged in that he was away from, you know, at Eton, in a private school, in a big house in the countryside. I don't think he's actually mixed with real people very much, has he?
And there's
so he doesn't understand. It's not his fault.
I nearly bought... I rarely buy biographies of politicians because I haven't got time. But there's one that all the papers have been talking about Boris at the moment, talking about how deeply unhappy he is in him as a person, this bumbling exterior, and he's had a very difficult upbringing.
Well, I mean, I once interviewed his dad, and his dad said no child should be with their mother past 6 years old.
But his mother has struggled as well, hasn't she?
That's when they all went to university or went to boarding school, 6 years old. Imagine sending our girls off at 6 years old. They really shouldn't be around their mothers past 6.
Yeah. Teacher news is breaking at the minute as the government has pulled out, Ellie Pickard, 123. The government has pulled out of supplying thousands of laptops to schools, but then schools get fined if they don't provide online lessons. It's just, oh my God. Oh, look, Karen T, I'm
trying really hard not to swear because Nanny Di says I've been swearing too much. I'm trying really hard.
Karen T, I've just resigned from school due to COVID. Already feel my ments going down. Couldn't be bothered to do anything last week. Karen T, just take yourself out for a walk. Just
Out.
I know, just take yourself out. Honestly,
Walk
take yourself out.
every single day.
Any stretch
Maybe
of greenery,
3 times
anything.
a day.
Yeah,
just walk that away. It helps so much.
Now,
It's
guys,
a world of difference.
tonight, the clocks go back. No, the clocks fall back. Yeah, they spring forward and they fall back. That's how I always remember. The clocks fall back. And I was looking into this, the clock change tonight. So remember, at 2 a.m. or at 1 a.m. or 2 a.m., it's suddenly going to ping back to 1 a.m. It's going to be suddenly dark much earlier tomorrow. Now, I always thought that the origin of this was farming. And I thought it was to do with, crops and all that kind of stuff. But apparently, the whole clock change thing started in Germany prior to World War One.
I was listening to this on the radio.
Yeah, and apparently it's about the fact that the German authorities wanted to reduce the electrical cost of running homes and running everything, running lights at night and stuff like that. So it was a cost-saving measure. And then Britain and other countries in Europe followed suit. Now, a really interesting fact is that during the Spanish Civil War, around the time of Franco in Spain, Franco attached Spain's time to Germany's time. And because they're much further across, aren't they, much further west. And apparently Spain suffers from the greatest sleep deprivation in Europe as a nation. They lack sleep by 53 minutes. And this is a hangover from Franco having their clock attached to German time, summertime. So the Spanish are the most sleep deprived.
I would never think that. They have a
Which
siesta.
could argue, well, I was about to say, but that could explain why they have a siesta.
Oh, but
Do you love that
I was
information?
listening to this on the radio the other day, and there was a doctor arguing that we shouldn't do it. That deaths go up around the time, when we go forward and we lose an hour of sleep. Deaths go up.
By 10%, heart attacks go up by 10%.
Actually listen to what that means. How important our sleep is for our health. That there is a rise in deaths because people lose an hour.
10% of heart attacks. There's an increase by 10% in heart attacks. And this is why they're lobbying to stop moving the times around all the time.
Sleep is so important, and it's the regular sleep. That's what he was saying. It's about going to bed at the same time, waking up at the same time. Even at the weekend, you're still supposed to get up at the same time because your circadian rhythm keeps everything in check. The immune system, the white blood cells to fight infections, the heart, everything.
That's why I'm really worried.
Regular sleep. So 1 hour's difference.
It's massive.
Deaths go up by 10%.
10% is quite remarkable.
And I'm really glad that you're talking about this because I was listening to this thinking, I wish Mark was listening to this because...
Well, I just thought I'd look into it. I just saw that the clocks have changed. I thought, you know what? I want to get to the bottom of this.
Mark,
this isn't
you're
about
Spanish, says Francis.
This isn't about fun. Yeah, I think I might be. I looked at one of my worst night's sleep last week was 4 hours, 40 minutes.
That's just terrible.
That's awful. But my Fitbit says that's fair.
Remember, every time that you have a good sleep and every time you exercise, you create more white blood cells which fight illness. You need to exercise, you need to sleep well, you need to look after your gut.
I know I do.
I'm going to do a film on bone broth, how to make bone broth, guys, because I think gut health at the moment is so important, more than ever, with everything that's going on.
Stephanie Parry, what a lovely community you have here. You're both amazing. We have a lovely community because of the community.
We were emotional the other night after we had our chats with our Caroline, Caitlin, and Danny when we met Danny, and Fifi and Dale.
Yeah. Life affirming.
Life affirming.
And Herbie.
We said to Mark,
and
I said, let us never, ever give one moment of thought ever again to an unpleasant person that might pop up on here because they're so rare. Because when we give one moment, we take that moment away from all the good people that are on here, and there's so many good people. You are the absolute majority, and we just feel so lucky. I always say this to you, that all my friends that know you and follow you and you make up, they all say, oh my gosh, you've got the nicest followers of anyone I've ever seen. And we really do.
We really do.
So,
and that isn't a tribute to us, that's a tribute to you.
Really bloody is.
Sharona, which biography of Boris is best? Good question.
Good, Brenda.
Go online,
Did you make the scones?
pump in The Guardian or Independent, and just look at whichever the most recent one was they reviewed. I can't remember the title of it. It's been in a lot of the broadsheets.
I saw it actually. I saw it in broadsheets a few weeks ago. Well, let's buy it.
I keep reading good reviews of it, so it's an interesting read. So yeah, I would just go online or perhaps go to Amazon and even look at what their most recent publication date is, it should say. So look, guys, if you're not a member, become a member if you fancy some indulgent Sunday show fun. If you like Members Lives, where we wrap our heads in. Oh, and shall we show the cards? 8 of the cards went out. We still haven't received addresses for two people who
Two
won
people that
in the
won
last Members
card
Live.
in the last Members Live. We need your address.
Yeah,
because we've written up everything else, and we just
Yeah.
need yours.
We've got one heading off to Monster Mash in the States. That's obviously going to take longer because we have to take that to the post office. But 8 of the others have gone through. Charlie, Bernard Cribbins' gardener. He's got his card.
Yeah. Yeah. So So please, guys, if you are new to this channel today, I know some of you have come over from Instagram, hit the subscribe button and the notification bell, because we put up so much stuff on here, and that's all totally free. And we have a members area, which is $1.99 a month, which you can come out of at any time if you want to, join at any time. And all the other, all the previous stuff is there. So, you know, you've got over 40 No Name Sunday shows that you can binge watch. And, oh, look at all the lovely comments of people saying they love it, Mark. And worth every penny. Thank you so much. Thank you, guys.
Well, it was very good.
So go and check out the comments. We did a comment read, and that's up. Best $1.99 you'll ever spend. Thank you so much. And you know what? It really helps us, because I do Loose Women obviously a couple of times a week, but we do work on this full time, 7 days a week we work on. So it really does help. Thank you so much, my lovelies. And what else is happening this weekend?
Sunday show. Oh, a vlog's going up. Green-fingered hell.
Oh, loads of content.
Green-fingered hell is coming back.
And of course, we're going to be on Instagram, so check us out. We're around all day. What?
Okay, guys.
Thank you, lovelies.
Lots of love.
Bye.
Bye.